Well, here we are, final show of 2025. We would do another one, but it would drop on Christmas Day. So you've got enough good things in your life without adding us. Hi, I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt. And yeah, we're almost there. This has been the longest year. It's felt like half a decade, hasn't it?
Oh my gosh, has it ever? So much has gone on. And we're going to take a look back at 2025. And our next show actually does drop on New Year's Day. So something to look forward to on January 1st, among other things, of course. How have you been doing?
I've been doing well. I've been filling the gaps in my workday with baking and squirreling things away in the freezer. And it's been kind of fun.
It is fun cocooning or just going back to those, I always call them the Laura Ingalls Wilder days, where we never had Wilder days, but you know what I mean, of just kind of hunkering down. And this Sunday is the winter solstice, Sunday morning, and then we start seeing more daylight. So that's a real turning point. That's what we're really getting ready for.
Well, you haven't had to endure the cold weather alerts here.
Oh.
It was minus 22 with the wind chill earlier this week for 2 mornings in a row. Derek still went for the walk, and I went, this is why we have a treadmill in the basement, honey.
Right?
Just cover your face and be safe. Yeah, it wasn't fit for man nor beast, but out he went.
Good for him. Hey, speaking of Derek, you have Derek Palooza next week. Now, you're one of these families that has a lot happening around the month of December. You've got your anniversary on the 23rd. How many years?
16.
16. Wow.
I know.
Wow, that's so amazing. I still remember getting that message when we were in Mexico, as a matter of fact, that you and Derek had tied the knot in Las Vegas. How about that?
Yeah, we eloped on a Harley, yeah.
And then on the 24th, Derek's birthday.
That's right. And we get together with all of his family on Christmas Eve, traditionally.
Aw.
So it's a celebration of his birthday then, too.
Oh, that's nice. And you and I are getting together in 2026. Very exciting. But let's get into the show because we get to be the warm-up twits this week. Thanks to Marie, to your husband Derek for noticing it, and a few others. We were talking last week. How did we get into talking about boys' bathrooms, Lisa?
I think it was lineups for the bathroom,
Right.
how it's always a lot worse for women than for men.
Yeah, and we both referred to that round circular thing in the boys' room. Well, it turns out because it looked like a fountain, it was a hand washing thing, and you step on a little pedal and the water comes out, and it's for washing hands. So, yeah.
It wasn't a mass urinal as we thought.
No, we're the twits. We're the
But
twits.
Derek said to me, didn't you girls have one like that? It's like, oh my goodness, no. We're not going to walk up and wash all of our hands en masse like that. We need our little bespoke sinks that we can go to one-on-one.
Yes, and the mirrors. Don't forget the mirrors. You had to make sure your lip gloss was on right.
Your Bonnie Bell that was hanging from a cord around your neck, yeah.
Oh my God, Bonnie Bell lip smackers. Dr. Pepper was my favorite. What was your favorite?
Mine too.
Oh,
Mine too.
Did you have Love's Baby Soft?
Yes, Love's Baby Soft, and oh my goodness, all those things. Oh, yes. My mom had a big thing of Avon talcum powder because our neighbor sold Avon on the back of the toilet, and I'll never forget lifting it off to see what it was and powder going everywhere.
Now, how was that woman selling powder from on top of the toilet?
It got crowded in there, let me tell you. And she never had a square to spare.
Oh, no. And I would love to have seen your face when you heard Gracefully and Frankly with the breaking news last week, because that was your husband, Derek, and we arranged that without you knowing.
Right. And I had no idea until I listened to the finished podcast that Derek was in there. And yeah, I guess I looked completely shocked. You would have loved it. Derek laughed his head off. He thought it was great. So.
Good. We have a surprise from Lisa that's also going to be a surprise to me this week. She is going to sing her song of the year. But since we're talking about twits, how about we do This Week in Totally Sane or Twits?
Okay. Sorry I didn't sing with you.
That's okay. You have to be like Celine Dion and hold off on using your voice until you actually sing with me. So what is the good news story about WestJet?
WestJet has changed course on its non-reclining seats. We told you that they were going to have the lowest tier. They were reconfiguring their airliners, and they were going to make more room for more seats by squishing people in and charging less for non-reclining seats. Well, wouldn't you know it, Aaron? Representatives from the flight attendants and pilots unions went with company executives in prototypes of these seats from Toronto to Calgary, and they came back and went, you know what, maybe we should just hold off on this. It's really uncomfortable.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so now it's only a reprieve because WestJet has said that it may resume the seat reconfiguration in the spring, but they're really going to give it some thought. You know, they were trying to spin it as, oh, people who don't want all the frills can still fly and fly for less, when really what they were doing was jamming more people onto planes.
Wow.
But it took them experiencing their own idea to realize that, wow, this isn't great after all.
That's really unusual.
Mhm.
It's as though Galen Weston was suddenly put on a reasonable budget and made to shop in his own stores. I love the idea of that. And it's the flight attendants who have to deal
Yeah.
with the fallout from this because people are so uncomfortable. I think I would cry, Lisa. I really do.
Well, I'm trying to remember, and I think I flew WestJet to Calgary last month, and it was so squished. I had a reclining seat, but when the woman ahead of me reclined, I could not reach down to get my bag.
Yeah.
It was so tight. It was horrifying. So if they want to make it even tighter, that's crazy.
Yeah. You can't open your laptop. You can't do anything. Okay. Things we watched this year. I have a standout show for 2025, and that is The Pit. And there's a new season dropping shortly, so I'm very glad about that if anybody's looking for something to watch over the holidays. And on Netflix, the movie Adolescence. It's 3 parts at least, and it's just incredible. It's such good drama, took all kinds of Emmys, and I cannot recommend that highly enough.
It really does stick with you because it's so unusual and so raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not one of these shows that's overtly violent. Of course, it's based on
No.
a crime, but you're not seeing a lot of blood and you're not terrified the whole time. So it's really worth watching. But you know what I discovered in the past month? Jane Austen. I think that this woman's really going to have herself a writing career.
Well, don't go out on a limb. Yeah, just know. Yeah, to see how she's received. So what have you discovered of hers? The books or movies or what?
Movies to start with, Sense
Yeah.
and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice,
Right.
Dumb and Dumber, all the no, maybe not that one. So I'm just a big old fangirl, and I cannot wait till Christmas night when Rob gets here on Christmas Day. We're going to have our dinner, and then I'm going to introduce to him the most romantic Sense and Sensibility,
Yeah.
for which Emma Thompson won the Oscar for screenplay.
She was great.
She was. And so, yay, that's kind of my guilty pleasure this year.
You also need to watch Jay Kelly on Netflix. I'm not going to ruin it. It's George Clooney and Adam Sandler. What a pairing. And it's unusual too. And it's almost like I wouldn't even know how to describe what category to put it in. But some of the choices they made for filming, some of the cinematography and scene setups are just incredible. It's a beautiful film. We really enjoyed it. So
Good.
I hope you will too.
Well, I've been holding off. It's George Clooney, so I'm going to wait till Rob's here so that I don't have to feel guilty about seeing George on the side. Time Magazine Person of the Year. What do we think?
Time Magazine's AI collective, the person of the year being all the people who are behind AI.
Yes.
It's a cop-out to me to not pick a person. It's called the person of the year, for goodness sake.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going to do something with AI, I think now's the time to do it because I think the bubble's going to burst a bit. It's just been so overwhelmingly in our faces, and some companies are finding it's not all that to have a bot on your side. What do you think?
I understand it. And as much as I despise AI for what it's done in terms of taking away work from people like you who do voiceover work, You are getting some back because there's been pushback and people have realized that it's been a mistake to do it, especially audiobooks. If I hear AI reading an audiobook, it's ugh. But when you go to look up a side effect of a drug, they put together all of these answers and you get this from here, this from there. It's a great place to get a lot of information, hopefully true, on something you're looking up. I find that just amazing.
You still need critical thinking
Yes.
because it's basically stealing. It's taking information from everywhere that it doesn't own or whatever. But I'll give you an example. In the Star this week, Kevin Donovan, their amazing head of investigative reporting, put in some stuff about the Honey and Barry Sherman murders 8 years ago.
Right.
And it kicked out some facts, and he questioned it further. And the AI actually said, that was a hallucination. I need to apologize. I did not discern that from anything. I made it up because I wanted to give you an answer.
What?
Yeah, it's a fascinating article that he wrote. What if somebody hadn't pushed? What if somebody had just said, oh, that's what it says? And it's a cautionary tale that sometimes it's just not all it's cracked up to be.
So interesting. That is worth a read. And then we have the color of the year for 2026. First off, why is this even a thing? And I actually, in another podcast that I did a few years ago, I didn't love it like I love you. I was paid to do that one. This one, we work for coffees. I interviewed the woman who chooses the color of the year, and she's an older lady, probably in her 70s, kind of in a chic little New York apartment where she was set. We talked about the color of the year and how it sort of tries to capture the zeitgeist. But for 2025, it was mocha mousse or beige. And
Right.
for 2026, they're calling it, what is it? It's a toilet paper name.
Cloud dancer.
Cloud dancer. That's it. Or a reindeer.
Hold me closer, cloud
Cloudy
dancer.
dancer. Yeah,
Yeah.
which was white and just incensed everybody. It was like, read the room. And I don't know if everything has to be political, but apparently people saw it as political.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
I think the only reason it's out there and it's a thing is for branding. They keep their name out there once a year. I look at it as the Mr. Blackwell of annual releases, right? Because everybody would look for Mr. Blackwell's mean list of best and worst dressed. And
Yep.
so we look for Pantone.
You know, Blackwell's list really set a trend. He was meaner even than Joan Rivers. And this was before there was a culture of mean everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was shocking.
Yeah, it was one of those year-end things that you knew you were going to get, and I think Pantone is kind of the same. And then people in the decor industry can say, we don't go with it or we do go with it. It gives them something to write about, talk about. Cloud dancer, just white.
Okay, yeah. Well, we love our white sheets from Envy Pillow, and those sheets still 15% off until Christmas. The usual 10% applies to everything using the code GF. And, we talk about Kathy and Kim, these two amazing women, RNs, who decided to do something for people who had just had facial procedures. And then it just turned into these pillows with the V indentation in them to help us sleep and help necks like yours that have been through trauma of car crashes and stuff. And we just love them so much. And I got to tell you, Lisa, you know this, but a lot of people don't. So many podcasts don't have sponsors, or you hear commercial breaks. We'll be right back after the break. We don't do that. We show it in like a thread count to the content of our podcast because we believe so much in Envy Pillows. So thank you to Kathy and Kim for putting their money where our mouths are.
ENVY, V as in Victor, NVpillow.com.
Well, it's been a heavy end to 2025 as we look back at the people that we lost. And there are no words, but we're going to find them for Rob and Michelle Reiner. Just absolutely devastating earlier this week.
Yeah, I just can't even. It brought back to mind Phil Hartman being murdered by his wife, Bryn.
Yes.
How needless and senseless and awful and from what we're reading, and I certainly don't claim to know about the Reiner family any more than anybody else does, but from what we're reading, the son was a ticking time bomb, and we know that Phil Hartman's wife was as well. And it's just horrific because there's nothing any of us could do to stop it.
It's so true, and they had done everything possible to help their son. Rob and Nick collaborated on a film, actually, that debuted at TIFF, and they did interviews about it later, and it was based on their relationship. And one line that Rob had the actor say, and he was adamant that he say it screaming, was, "I would rather you hate me than you die." And that's just what it was like with them and Nick and his addiction and his mental illness. And it's so tragic. But there are other losses this year in terms of celebrities. I mean, of course, there were shootings, there were massacres, there were all those terrible things that have happened in the world. We're kind of turning our spotlight here on celebrities because it's kind of just what we're doing here, or the whole show would be tragic. But Malcolm Jamal Warner and Brian Wilson, James Earl
Good.
Jones, Robert Redford, Diane Keaton.
Yeah, she was a surprise. Malcolm Jamal Warner certainly was because of his age, but Diane Keaton just because it never seemed like there was anything going wrong with her.
Well, she lived a private life too. And
Yes.
Jane Goodall, we knew she
Yeah.
lived to a very ripe age and she just gave the world so much more than she took. And isn't that a wonderful legacy? And then Gene Hackman and his wife, that was just so bizarre, so strange, so sad.
Very sad that they were going through so much and doing it all on their own. Another one that hit me that might not be big with a lot of people was Rick Davies from Supertramp. He was 81, but Supertramp was my band when I was a teenager, and they brought me the world. They meant everything to me. They made me cry. They made me laugh. So Rick Davies was a big deal to me.
And closer to home, losing a friend, losing a woman that so many people woke up with every morning. Of course, they had the radio on for you or me, but on the TV, it was Beverly Thompson with CTV Canada
Mm,
AM. She fought breast cancer for so long, Lisa, and losing
yeah.
her was just, oh, such a tragedy.
Now, the biggest showbiz stories, a lot of things happened in celebrity culture this year, but I'm going to say the biggest one was Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air.
Yes. That really rocked showbiz, but it made a lot of us do something about it. We canceled our subscriptions to Disney. We said to
Yes.
ABC, this is not okay. And they actually listened.
Exactly. And he just got re-upped for another year. The people have spoken, and I've noticed because I subscribe to his YouTube channel, the numbers of views are way up, way, way up on his YouTube videos. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, we love Jimmy Kimmel. I didn't like him to begin with, Lisa, because of the Man
Yeah.
Show. I just thought, ugh, he's another.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know.
No, me neither. I didn't like The Man Show or any of that stuff either, but like so many people, he had to do what he did to get started, and he grew up, right? Luckily, he grew up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. What?
Yeah, so that was quite a surprise. And all of the stories that have come out after it are just so much garbage. We don't know anything. We just know that they split up, right?
Yeah, and then he goes and plays at Mar-a-Lago. Like, none of it makes sense. It's always jarring when you find out people that you really, really liked are not who you thought they were. And there's nothing like standing in the Oval Office, getting a Kennedy Center honor to make you go, how could I have been so wrong for so long? You know?
Mm,
That's the hard
yeah.
thing. There's this dissonance when you find out that people are not who you thought they were.
Well, it's easy to give up Kid Rock, but it's it's not as easy to give up other people.
I'd rather listen to music from a pet rock. Speaking of music, oh, that wasn't a very nice introduction, but your song of the year, is it soft rock, kid rock, pet rock? What is it?
It's country. Oh, Erin, I can't get this thing out of my head. It is kind of a throwback to traditional country, and it murders grammar, so just forgive me there.
Okay.
But it's silly, and yet it's catchy, and even though I'm singing it and that's not the best way to hear it, you will get what I mean about it, about the grammar and about the throwback to traditional country, but I just think it's absolutely hilarious. It has a really bad swear word in it, so I don't even know if it went on air anywhere,
Ah,
but it's a hoot.
I'm going to say the reason we can't play a clip of it is not the swears, it's the copyright, and our
Yeah.
episode would
Oh,
not
yeah.
be able to go up.
No, we both like our houses and we don't want to lose them over a silly song on a podcast, so yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Brandt with her song of 2025.
It is called Bitin' List by Tyler Childers. Are you ready?
Is that a man or a woman?
Man,
Okay, biting list.
remember, very country, all right? And I am not a singer. Nobody has to tell me, that I spent the money mom gave me for singing lessons on licorice whips, okay? I know
I
it.
thought it was going to be like liquor and smokes, but anyway,
Maybe it was, okay.
that's a different song.
I have to give myself a beat. Put it plain, I just don't like you. Not a thing about the way you is. And if there ever come a time that I got rabies, you're high on my biting list.
If there ever come a time that I got rabies, you're high on my biting list.
You're high on my biting list. And it goes on about getting a fever and wanting to hug his wife and child, but instead he's going to go around and bite all the people he didn't like. And oh my goodness, it's
Oh,
ridiculous. But once you hear it, it just sticks in your head.
Tyler Childers' biting list.
That's right.
Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Oh, well, it's no baby shark, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I think the song most Canadians were singing in 2025 was "Okay, Blue Jays, Let's Play Ball." That was the greatest
Oh,
month in sports. The Toronto Blue Jays going all the way to the World Series with so much heart, the whole country behind them. Yeah, they lost, but we look great for next year.
yeah, we really do. And the moves they're making, everybody seems pretty happy with right now. And it really was a great run and had the whole country united. It's so funny. Remember on Halloween night how everybody's lights went off just before 8 and nobody was going to miss
Yep.
what was going on in baseball. So,
Yep. Also, February 20th, everybody remembers where they were for the Canada
yes.
US Four Nations Cup final. And that was a spectacular night in sports as well for Canada, which leads us to the biggest stories in Canada in 2025. Okay, what's yours?
I think it's the boycott of anything from or in the US.
Yep.
For me, because it was just ongoing and bubbling under the surface all the time. Booze, trips, products, checking labels.
Yep.
Our relationship to our big brother is forever changed, and I think we're severing the family relationship. So
Yep.
that's mine. What do you think?
Oh,
What do you think?
absolutely. My word of the year, and I'll make it two because Oxford Dictionary did that too with rage bait, but mine is or are elbows up. Elbows up.
Yep.
And we're keeping them up. I don't care. We're
Yep.
sticking to it. And you saw a story that tourism to Mexico is up hugely this year, huh?
Yep, from Canadians who are avoiding the US at all costs. And, a story came out about, I think it's landed immigrants who come through Canada or whatever. Now they can go back 5 years in your social media posts.
Yes.
But many Canadians have interpreted as it being us as well. I don't believe that it is. Regardless, the fact that they're doing it to anyone is offensive to all of us. So it's just another reason to not go there.
Yeah, I mean, I would get kicked out of the country on one day, never mind 5 years. But let's talk about the human power to go through all this and the lineups. Like, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine it. It's just more insane ravings from the Oval Office. And hopefully that stain will be removed one way or the other in 2026. So we'll see about that.
Hope is all we have. We have to hang on to hope, keep our elbows up, and look for a better future. Because do you remember, Aaron? I know you do, when discourse was civil. And if somebody put something negative about someone who had just died
Oh,
online,
oh,
they would have been vilified. And now it is the person who's supposed to be leading things.
yeah.
We are falling apart if we're not careful, so we have to hang on to hope.
Absolutely, and a few of those comments showed up on my Facebook page. I just couldn't ban them fast enough because I knew they were
Yeah.
trolls. I don't know how they found me, but I knew they were trolls. Okay, silliest trend of 2025? I have one. 6'7".
Of course,
Six,
of
seven.
course. Oh my
There are
goodness.
gonna be people listening who go like, "What?" Well, that means you haven't been around kids or, paid attention because it's just this thing, okay, pretend you've got a slinky in your right and your left hand, up and down, and it's just you go 6, 7, and it just means mid. It's not a 10, it's not a 1, it's somewhere in the middle, 6, 7. But kids started doing this probably last year, but definitely through 2025 so that it was everywhere. Oh my god, the hockey team, the Ottawa 67s must be loving it. And it's been driving teachers crazy and parents crazy,
Yeah.
and it'll pass, but I'm trying to remember when we were kids, there was Wicked. Everything was like, "Oh, Wicked."
Mm.
It's just a silly thing, and that's my silliness for 2025.
There was a couple on Halloween night, the adults taking their kid around, and she was a 6 and he was a 7.
Ah,
And my neighbor said, "What does that mean?" And the woman yelled back, "It means nothing. It's meaningless."
that's right,
Yeah.
and being with Colin and Jane walking through a playground, and this little kid who knew Colin from school was going, "Hey, Colin, 6, 7." And Colin said,
Ugh.
"I'm not doing that."
Oh, he's being raised right. Yay.
Oh, we know that too. How about the number 14? Don't try and find meaning in it unless you're looking for joint pain control. That's what Sierra Sil Joint Formula 14 is all about. It's spray, it's dog chews, and it's capsules that promise you will feel a difference in your joint pain in 14 days or fewer or your money back. And while we're thanking sponsors, Michael Bentley and Sierra Sil, a Canadian company, and they've been having all kinds of specials. You've got to check them out on their website because at any moment you can get extra capsules, all kinds of things, and most of all, testimony from people like you, people like me, people who've used Sierra Sil, and it works. Thank you, Michael.
SierraSil.com is the website. Sierra like the mountains, SIL.com. Use your GF code for 14% off.
Is that? It is. It's the coffee maker. I hear some coffees.
Thank you, Mally, for the coffees. 10 coffees from Mally on our Gracefully and Frankly website. And we appreciate it so much. It's a way to support the podcast. And you don't have to buy 10, you can buy one. But Mally was feeling super generous at this time of year.
My goodness, it is so generous and so kind. And we are so grateful. And what better note on which to leave this year with our final podcast of 2025 than one of just flat out gratitude? Lisa, we started this just because we loved having conversations every week. And I missed radio. Of course, you're back in it. We're just so grateful to you for joining us every week, for sharing your thoughts on our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page, for leaving us voicemails at gracefullyandfrankly.com, for buying us copies, getting t-shirts and those wonderful pendants and earrings and stuff that Lisa puts together. It's just been such a wonderful ride, and we can't wait to start the new year with you here too.
And it will be right on New Year's Day. We
Woo!
will be back with a fresh new year and a brand new who knows what, because you can't predict the future around here, that's for sure. And that's part of what makes it fun.
It is, it is, and I wanna congratulate you on the 3 books that you released in 2025. Lisa, that's huge.
Thank you. Sometimes I sit back and I think I wrote novels. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much. I'm tickled with the way they've been received.
And this is where you give their names and where to get them. Oh my god, girl.
I need to hire somebody to do this because I'm terrible at it. I really am terrible at that part.
I know.
The series is called Felicity and Mitzi. That's the two sisters in the books. That's all you need to know, really, to find them. My name, of course, Lisa Brandt. They're available at voiceoflisabrandt.com, bookstores if you ask for them, libraries as well. You might need to ask for them, which is a great free way to read. And if you read ebooks, of course, that's the most inexpensive way to go if you want to toss me a shekel.
All right. And can we order them through our gracefullyandfrankly.com website?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. There are links there in the storefront.
Excellent. Two other things. I want to congratulate us, if I may, on our how many downloads did we surpass at Thanksgiving?
210,000. Yay.
And if I may, Drift with Aaron Davis Sleep Stories just surpassed 400,000 listens, Lisa.
That's amazing.
Honestly, you and I are terrible about bragging about things, but it's just, we've got a lot to be thankful for. But it all comes back to connections, to you, and thank you for joining us in 2025.
Have a wonderful Christmas, a terrific Hanukkah,
That's right. Have a wonderful Kwanzaa, an exceptional New Year's Eve.
and whatever else you may celebrate. Even if you're checking out for the whole thing, I hope you have a great time.
And we'll be back with you New Year's Day. And if you're hungover, that's okay. You can just turn us down a little bit. Something our husbands can't do.
Oh, they try.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Rob. But mostly thank you, Lisa. I love you and Merry Christmas.
I love you too, sister. Talk to you soon.
Bye.